So we got this into our newsroom before we got on the stream, but it's regarding a lawsuit. So North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson filed a lawsuit against FEMA for canceling a federal program. It's called Building Resilient Infrastructure in Communities, also known as BRIC, that allocated over $200 million to protect the state's infrastructure. The cancellation, according to Attorney General Jeff Jackson's office, affects critical infrastructure projects, including water and sewer services, which have been damaged by storms. I want to bring in live on the show Attorney General Jeff Jackson. Attorney General Jackson, thank you for your time this afternoon.
Good to see you.
Can you talk about the long-term impact that this will have on residents here in North Carolina?
Sure. Here's the issue. This program, which was by President Trump in his first term, is designed to protect our infrastructure against floods. And we're prone to those in North Carolina, as folks have recently seen. So a lot of this is about taking some critical infrastructure like pump stations, sewer lines, and moving them up above the floodplains. We have over 60 of these projects in North Carolina for which funding was designated. It's over $200 million, as you said, to the state, which is a whole lot of money. So we have filed suit, and we think we have a very strong legal case.
Does this have any impact? And I'm thinking of, because we're approaching a year since Helene hit Western North Carolina. Does this have any impact on the recovery efforts there? And also, I'm thinking about the recent flooding in Central North Carolina. Will this cut in the program have any impact on those recovery efforts?
It's not going to affect recovery. It is going to affect the next flood. Specifically, you mentioned the flooding we had in the central part of the state recently. In Hillsborough, they had a few days where they couldn't treat their wastewater because the pump station there was flooded. Well, that pump station is on the list of projects that have been designated to receive funding, basically to move it above and out of the flood zone. We just know now in North Carolina which pieces of critical infrastructure are most vulnerable when there's a flood. We had our list. We gave it to this program, FEMA's program. They designated these places as being worthy of receiving funds, and now they've pulled the rug out.
So what happens in the meantime? As this plays out with the lawsuit, how does the state plan to fill the gap with this program now being cut?
Well, you're right. The lawsuit will take a while to resolve, but our specific request in this lawsuit is that the court treat this as an emergency, particularly because, we are entering, we are actually in the middle of hurricane season right now, but other municipalities have already put money into a lot of these projects in reliance of FEMA doing their end as they have pledged to do. So our lawsuit requests the court to treat this as an emergency, put an injunction in place, and basically tell FEMA, hey, while this lawsuit is pending, you cannot pull the rug out and take these funds away.
Have you heard from the Trump administration or any of the other AGs on this lawsuit? Have they heard from the Trump administration? And have they given a specific reason on why they are canceling this program?
No, we have not. However, this was Trump's program that he created, and we have a statement from Senator Tillis and from Representative Chuck Edwards asking FEMA to reconsider cancellation here. So this is a totally bipartisan effort as far as I'm concerned. And the impact of it, if we don't fix it, will be completely bipartisan because it's going to be felt across communities all across the state.
Attorney General Jeff Jackson, thank you for your time. You've been so generous with your time. Thank you again for joining us here on Live Impact News.
Thank you. Take care.
And again, you guys, that is Attorney General Jeff Jackson there giving us his response after, again, we got the information about the lawsuit impacting that, regarding that federal program that would impact infrastructure here in North Carolina. And again, so James pointed this out, and I want to make sure I point this out as well. Scrolling down, as far as
Some of those local
impacts
projects?
those local projects, those key
Yeah.
projects here that will lose funding from the BRIC program. So in Salisbury, and James, chime in just to give some
Yep.
more context if you can. So in Salisbury, $22.5 million to relocate a flood-prone pump station on the Yadkin River, with the city having already invested $3 million locally. And so I know
That's right. Yeah, we have those numbers on the screen right there. And as you just heard from the Attorney General, some of these local jurisdictions had already invested money into some of these projects. So I think in their news release, Nick, as you cited, this was one of them. And so this is actually the whole list
Yeah.
that they sent out. We put them on a little bit of an easier to read graphic, but you can see how many
it's a lot. Just to show you how
they're
many.
citing. Yeah.
And also Gastonia, $5.9 million to restore creek banks and move sewer lines to prevent flood damage. And again, a lot of this, I know I asked about current recovery efforts, but a lot of this is preventative things for the next storm, as Attorney General Jeff Jackson weighed in. For a lot of folks, that next storm was Tropical Depression Chantal.
Sure.
As it hit central North Carolina, and we showed you those images in that video from the flooding in Durham County, Orange County, and so on there, and even Alamance County, which is close to my
Yeah, I know you
my
just
hometown.
talked to the state attorney general about this, Nick, but if I punch that list back up on the screen, Hillsborough, which we know was hit hard by Chantal and a lot of the recent floodings, was awarded $5.8 million, according to the attorney general's office, for the river pumping station. And so that is probably one of those key projects that we're seeing kind of in live time, Nick, where these projects are meant to mitigate or build resilience against floods, whether they be from tropical storms or just
Yeah.
these training thunderstorms that we know that community has been seeing.